To properly get started and to utilize our developer handover feature, you're going to want to use the Botmock API. The Botmock API is essentially a way to get data from your Botmock projects and teams in a data format known as JSON. And you're able to hit different URL endpoints to get this data as well. This does start with an authentication process. So let's look down here. The authentication process requires an API token and a short request that's needed before you properly access things as well. Let's go to the Botmock dashboard to find our token. As you go to the dashboard, you're usually greeted with all the list of your projects or maybe list of your members, however you have it set up. And you simply find the developer API info by going to your icon, going down to the developer API menu subsection, and then you should see this create API token section and an API token section. For the create API token, you simply create a token, give it a name, assign it the abilities, which that's pretty much just one thing at the moment. And then you'll get the API token, but you'll only be able to see it once. So that means I can't see any of the other tokens I've created. And if I forget them or don't copy them, I will have to create a new token every time. But you can create as many tokens as you want for any different team that's needed. And you can also see when they've been used. The next step is to go to a project itself. Now, at this point, you've authenticated the API. Rather, you have access to the data now, but you need a few more things to properly get data from the platforms you need. Rather, if you're working through projects. And this is the team ID, project ID, and board ID. These things are used essentially to get that amount of data, right? So you get the team data, the project data, or the board data. They can pass through a URL and then go to the reference here, and you can see all the data that you can get back in this JSON format. Now, there's a few shortcuts as well, especially if you're building for certain platforms. And Botmock currently supports different integrations such as Dialogflow, which we have an open source integration for. Watson, same thing as well. You can find it on GitHub. And Microsoft Bot Framework. We also have a few different ones on the way and many more that we're looking to do in the future. We also have a Botmock JS wrapper that can help a little bit with getting started with the Botmock API so that you're not necessarily just hitting it, but have a little bit of a shortcut. And that is the Botmock API for the most part. Thank you very much.